Hi, my name is Roy Moore with the Scout Patch Auction. We're at the 2011 Calumet Memorial Day Traderie, and I'm joined with Bruce Shelley. He is the best known as the editor for the Order of the Arrow column with the International Scout Collectors Association, ISCA. But today, Bruce is here to tell us about another passion of his, and that is neckerchief slide collecting, particularly Ed Choby. So, Bruce, thanks for doing this.
Sure.
Tell me about this collection. First, how did you get started in neckerchief slide collecting?
Well, I bought a couple of slides from Ed that Ed Choby had made. I traded for them at Philmont in 1963. And the fellow I traded with wanted to trade me a whole bunch more, and I started thinking, what does that mean? I checked Boys Life magazine, and there was an ad from Ed Choby in the magazine, and he actually advertised slides for sale for over 30 years in Boys Life. So I wrote to him, got his catalog, and I bought a half a dozen of his slides, and that got me started. Now, fast forward many years, I'm back in collecting, and I'm collecting really patches, but occasionally I'd see a slide, and I'd say, that looks like an Ed Choby slide. And I would pick them up, and now I pick them up, a little bit here and there, and I realize I have a collection of them now. So now I have, probably well over 100 of slides that I think are his work, and I've been really digging into the research about the slides that he made. I've been collecting not only his work, but his catalogs. I'm talking to people who knew him, who learned to carve from Ed. So I think his work is very distinctive and connected to my Scout time. I think it's really beautiful work. I think he was an artist beyond just a carver. And so it's just become a real interest of mine.
Well, and as you started finding different examples, so you had the items that you traded for there at Philmont, and then found out that, and you brought with us today one of the reprints from the Slide of the Months. I remember these in the Boys Life magazines. Yes. But you were telling me earlier, Ed never wrote the column.
Never wrote the column, no.
But picked up on a number of these designs.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is. I've identified at least 20 or 30 of the 150 slides that he has in his catalog. Over the years, I've got multiple catalogs, but at least 20 or 30, and maybe many more, were actually originally slides of the month. So my speculation is that people wanted the slide they saw, and Ed made it available. He made it available as a block. He would sell you a block, and he gives you instructions how to carve it. He would sell it as a carved slide, and you paint it yourself, or he would sell you the finished slide in wood painted, and sometimes he would even do them in mahogany. I don't have a mahogany right to show real immediately, but he would also carve them in mahogany and just finish them. So he was sort of providing a service.
Well, and you've got here, the same design that might be repeated or carried through slightly different styles, and then others that are quite unique or distinctive. You mentioned Ed is from what, originally Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, yeah. This came out of his estate, and it's obviously a pirate. It's not in his catalog. I think it's a unique slide that he made, and he could have made that. Maybe the only one he ever made. I don't know, but it might be maybe he was a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. I'm not sure.
So this could have been, possibly for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but we noticed how well he detailed the two eyes, even though it's a profile piece. Which of your slides has caught your attention? You have over here in this display case, and maybe Dexter, you can get closed in on just the exquisite detail that was done on you've got a leopard here and a panther here, or the, what do you call this?
That's a Maasai shield, African Maasai shield.
And then this character, again, are types of neckerchief slides. And we were chatting earlier, this is almost American folk art. When did he first start doing these?
I believe he started carving in the late 40s, and he was all over the camps in the Pittsburgh area, Western Pennsylvania, teaching boys how to carve. I mean, they estimated he taught 5,000 boys how to carve.
Well, and you said that you found that some of these are, in essence, like the old Grand Master artists. He had disciples that he taught that became instructors to other people on teaching.
There were several men who have been wood carving instructors at most recent Jamborees 2010. Bob Reitmeyer sells blocks to camps all over the country, and he's a very good carver. And he says that he started with Ed. And there's another fellow up that way. I think Will Scarlett knew him, and I think he influenced him.
Did you ever meet him?
I never met him, but I exchanged mail with him. He actually he designed a slide for me personally for the '64 Jamboree, and I never sent back the money to have it made, and I regret that the rest of my life.
Well, I have seen. Again, these could be used by anybody for anything, but he's also made some of these designs would be picked up by Order of the Arrow Lodges.
Yes, he did specifically make slides for Order of the Arrow Lodge. I have a Wageon slide in my stuff. I've got a slide from his own lodge, 46 Eries, that he made. He made certain slides for presentation. He carved individual slides for everybody who attended the 1957 three-seat conclave. It's a very, very highly prized item in Virginia. I know at least...
I remember those.
He's got some other slides. He would make a special award slide. He would write on Honor Patrol or Troop so-and-so. I've seen those.
Okay, do you know how many different ones he's made over the years?
He listed 151 items in his catalog. There's another sheet that I've got. He drew some other drawings that I've got catalogs, maybe another 10. But all those 151 numbers, I have not identified a slide for every number. He skipped over in different catalogs, and some of the numbers are blank. And he made some of these on this table are not in any of his catalogs, but I know like this fire I know is his. I've got a couple others.
I mean, so that's part of your challenge is still researching which ones are his
Yes.
or like,
Yes.
designed in
And
an Ed
since
Choby style.
Since he used the slide of the month, somebody else like this. These slides could have all been done by someone else. I mean, of the 30-some slides here, like 25 are exactly out of his catalog. They look exactly like his piece. Now, maybe this fellow bought his block and carved it. Maybe he bought a finished one and painted it. But I don't think this is necessarily his work, but it just looks exactly like it. So this is part of the
quality is stunning.
Yeah,
It is
these are fantastic. So I think somebody put a lot of extra time. Ed was making these slides and selling them for 50 cents or $1. He probably didn't put as much time into it as this man did. But I mean, so that's part of the challenge. You see it, and it looks like it's Ed's design.
Which, Bruce, in these slides, what surprises have you found in trying to hunt these down or track them down?
Oh, that's a good question. I get the big surprise is how many people carve something like his work. So it's very hard to find. Not necessarily hard, but it's hard to identify. You should be certain that this is Ed's work.
Well, his name will appear on some of
Yes,
them.
he does sign some, but not all. He signed the 3C slides, for example. But one of the ways I look is the eyes. If you look in this slide here, the eyes are looking off to the right-hand side, and that's kind of true in here.
Same in this one.
And maybe true in this one here. It's hard to say, but now the slides over here that may not be his work. You can see the faces the eyes are looking straight ahead. So this may be his later work. Also, there's the problem that his work may evolve over the 40 years or so that he was carving. So an early slide may look crude and not well done, whereas a later slide, maybe he was so polished by then that it looks really fine. But I mean, I've learned that there's an awful lot of very good carvers. I thought Ed was the best, but there's an awful lot of very good people who carve and finish, and there's some very good carvers working today. So I was attracted to this collecting for Ed's work, Ed Choby's work. But I'm picking up others just to have a representative collection of all the really good carvers that are known. And then this shows up, a box like this shows up. There might have been a man in California who did really superb work, and it's not clear to me who carved these and painted them, but it looks they're really superior. So it's
You're glad to have them, and you pick them up.
I'm glad to have them. Yeah.
It's a fun area. You can have an individual order the arrow patch that's more expensive than all of these, but these are labors of love. As we were talking earlier, these are real American folk art in many ways on both their creativity, the skills, the years putting these together, and you're still looking for more and glad to find them if you can.
There's some in his catalog that I've never seen. I've got a name and a number, but I've never seen the slide. So it's a treasure hunt for me too. When I come across like the worm sticking out of the apple, I thought I'd never see this slide. Who would buy this slide? But here I have it. Some of these others, and this was, we know that he carved these as totems for Lodge 100 in Missouri, and so it's kind of a treasure hunt.
Treasure hunt and fun little tie-ins to several other areas.
I think, like you said, it's real American art. I mean, my guess is what's the exit strategy here? My exit probably is I'm going to donate these to a art museum somewhere if somebody would appreciate them as real art.
Well, Bruce, thanks for taking the time and sharing your side passion with you, your passionate issue of
side collection
of neckerchief slides. And that's from the Calumet Treasury. Thank you very much.